Going from The Clash's debut into 1978's Give 'Em Enough Rope is like going from night to day. On the last album, the band's instrumentation was very furious, but also sparse in a low-fidelity sort of way. Here it feels a lot more polished up and more in line with what other major rock bands were doing at this time, sort of straddling the line between arena rock and punk. Most of the songs here do not shine quite as much as their immediate successors, but when this album was first released, it was the height of the band's catalog. While lyrical style is mostly the same as the last album, it does feel like the complexity of the compositions has gone up a notch. Due to the way the album was originally mixed, and some of the quirks of Joe Strummer's voice, it is sometimes hard to make out the lyrics without having something to read them on while listening, but oftentimes you can make out enough or catch the vibe off Strummer's singing to help you understand. Where Mick Jones had previously refrained from overt guitar heroics and solos, here he goes all in on it, something which, in my opinion, actually works to the album's advantage. Jones's slightly more down-to-earth, bittersweet songwriting style also starts out on the album's best track, Stay Free. This style would later be featured more heavily on the next album, 1979's London Calling, but works great here as well. The Clash have also undergone a lineup change on this album, with the first album's drummer, Terry Chimes, being replaced with the more competent Topper Hedden. While Chimes was satisfactory on the debut album's minimalist style, he never really did anything showy or cool. He just kept time. Hedden, on the other hand, has some proficiency at a more mainstream rock band style that is a bit showier and can add some additional flair here or there. Overall, Give 'Em Enough Rope sounds more spacious than the previous album, like it was recorded in an arena instead of a garage. This style of production would continue to be the hallmark of the Clash's sound throughout 1979's London Calling and 1980's Sandinista, which gives Give 'Em Enough Rope the special distinction of ushering in the band's golden era. Now, before we get started on the song-by-song breakdown, I would like to encourage everyone to like this video, if you like it, subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this, because I actually already have a lot, and four more on the way, and comment below your opinions on this album. I'd love to hear them. And with that, let's get started. Safe European Home is a good opener to the album, with a great guitar attack opening the album and setting the tone perfectly. Strummer's lead vocal and Jones's backing vocals are on top form here, and the song also serves as an introduction for Topper Hedden's style of drumming. The chorus and lyrics are also great and help this album stand out from the last, right off the bat. The song is one of several on the album about paranoia, sort of a running theme. This time it's about the members of the band walking around in an unfamiliar place, Jamaica, far away from their safe European homes. This song is perhaps one of only two songs on the album where the Clash's reggae influence is super apparent. It is quite apparent in this song's lyrical style, even where it is not in the vocal performance. The ending breakdown of this song also features the first appearance of the phrase, "Rudy Can't Fail," in the band's discography. This phrase would later be turned into a chorus and expanded into a full song on the band's next album, London Calling. English Civil War mashes up the American folk song When Johnny Comes Marching Home, with lyrics concerning British politics. The band seems to be trying to draw a parallel between the rise of right-wing parties with the Confederacy, and also seems to be a call for people to try to shut fascism down, instead of being prepared later on to have to fight like the Union in the Civil War did. Ultimately, the song calls for history not to be forgotten, lest it repeat itself, but it also calls for people to be ready for that to happen, and to be willing to fight for their country. Tommy Gunn starts with an excellent full frontal guitar attack that does not let up throughout the rest of the song. The lyrics are also good, being a criticism of how terrorists and killers are oftentimes glorified and sensationalized for what is ultimately very unsavory behavior. Carried along with this is a commentary on how the media is often more likely to spend more time talking about and trying to psychoanalyze someone who did something bad, as opposed to the one-and-done type of stories that they tend to give the good Samaritans of the world. Julie's Been Working for the Drug Squad is a catchy reggae song with a great chorus and a ragtime-sounding piano. Seemingly a funny little ditty about a girl who is secretly an undercover cop is really a song about the unnecessary excess of drug busts. With lines criticizing how people with drug convictions are treated the rest of their lives, and how everyone is constantly being watched, the song sets a very severe tone of paranoia. Last Gang in Town has a nice classic rock feel throughout, and like the rest of the album, good playing throughout. While the lyrics are perhaps the weakest on the album, it also has a pretty good catchy chorus, even if it looks meager compared to the rest of the songs on the album. Guns on the Roof is an anti-firearm song, denouncing gun violence as a whole. The song also lists off several places to make the point that violence is a worldwide issue, no matter how much any country wants to be blind to it domestically. The song is not the most instrumentally interesting on the album, but it does feature some good moments for bassist Paul Simon on, and also a good solo by Mick Jones. Drug Stabbing Time is another song that features a good chorus and a heavy sound. There's a saxophone on the song, and I don't understand why, but other than that, the rest is performed well. I especially like the backing vocals on the chorus. The lyrics are a parody of stoners and people who think they could just wish away all their worries with drugs, and the song ultimately culminates in the narrator having his apartment raided by the police in a drug bust. Kind of fits with the rest of the themes of the album quite well. Stay Free is Mick Jones's nostalgic song of youth and childhood friendship. However, this is still the Clash, so it has to have a very punk edge to it. His friend goes to jail, and then later on gets out, and a reunion soon on the way is sure to be followed with some form of mischief. The lyric story ends slightly before this reunion actually takes place, which helps leave the song with a bit of suspense throughout the ending. Everything here is well done. All the voices are well written and well sung. The part at the end where the song slows into an almost stop before bursting back forth with a more upbeat sounding rhythm, and the ending guitar solo. It's great, and it makes the song one, which is great, clear from the beginning to the end. This song has a perfect ending, honestly has a perfect middle, perfect beginning. This is the best song of the album. Cheapskates still features great playing, but it's a bit more restrained than on the rest of the album. The chorus is good and the lyrics are decent as well. The song is one part a story of how society treats the impoverished, and one part a story of how people have treated the band with contempt since they've become semi-notable. All of the Young Punks, New Boots and Contracts has a great backing to it, and the vocals are well delivered, but also at the same time the chorus is somewhat unintelligible. Both Strummer's rhythm guitar and Jones's lead guitar are great throughout, especially during a section in the middle where Jones plays a solo while Strummer continues the main riff. Overall, it's a pretty good note to end the album on, and features some great instrumental work, even if the lyrics are, as I said, basically unintelligible. It's something about punk life or something, which fits the band's kind of shtick pretty well, but you don't listen to this song for the lyrics. This song, it's a good way to end the album. Alright, before we go on to the final rankings of the song and the album, I want to look at the sleeve a little bit. As you can see, this is a very colorful sleeve. You got red here, you got blue, you got yellow, you got kind of this dotted black pattern. This has the band's name in this big, bold font, although there are some, I believe, versions of some that have it in more of an Orientalist sort of, you know, exaggerated font, including, I believe, a picture of the sleeve I actually use on the thumbnail. Got this guy on a mule, you got this dead guy here, he's got blood, he's got scavenger birds picking at him. Kind of fits the theme of the album pretty well. I'm assuming the tricolor thing is supposed to look like a flag of maybe like revolutionaries or something. I'm not super well versed in some stuff. I don't know where exactly this was supposed to be, and like this picture here on the back with them waving the red flags. Now, red flags look like they were drawn in, added to this black and white photograph, but I have no clue where that was taken. It might have been South America, it might have been Asia somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Also, I'm sure some of you have already noticed this, but this is a radio promotional copy. It has a gold stamp appeal for promotion only. Ownership is resolved by CVS, sales unlawful. And while I do have a couple of other records with that, this is by far the best. You also have the sticker down here, which has the track listing, as well as the, like, intro time for each song, so a DJ could, like, talk over it some at the beginning. I still do that. So yeah, this really is a piece of Clash history. Now, there's no printed liner on at least this copy. I don't know if original ones have or not. But you get this not for resale label. So there that is. That's nice. And then also, one other thing is you get a little pamphlet in here about the band's history. Let's see if I can get that out. And it kind of, I assume it's supposed to be read by a DJ. It has kind of a bulb at the bottom as well. You have, you know, a nice picture of the band. There they are, and then you have this here. I will read this off in just a minute, so... But first I want to sort of put, I guess, everything back in the sleeve. But yeah, overall, I think this is a very, very nice kind of sleeve. It's very colorful. It's very well printed. It really looks great. And although it is very colorful, you know, it is also kind of violent on the cover. It obviously shows kind of that the band is trying to, you know, talk about the things that are wrong with the world, and also kind of revolutionaries and whatever, and so it does, I feel like, fit the themes of the album very well as well. Now, I am going to be reading out loud the entire text of this pamphlet. I'm going to stumble a couple times, I'm sure, over my own words, because I just do that. But this is really a great piece of The Clash history, because, as I said earlier on in the video, this is their first album in the US, and so this is really probably how people first heard about this band in the United States. So without further ado, let me start reading this. Though the band has been performing together for only a little over 2 years, the trio nucleus of guitarist Mick Jones, lead vocalist Joe Strummer, and bassist Paul Simonon, supplemented by first drummer Tory Crimes, for some reason he used that pseudonym, and now by Nicky Hedden, has already proved itself to be the most volatile configuration of the past several years. As lead single for the group, Joe Strummer unleashes an emotional attack on the songs he co-writes with guitarist Mick Jones. Meanwhile, Jones provides ragged, eccentric guitar riffs which reveal this encyclopedic knowledge of the roots of rock, and Paul Simonon propels the group along in a fashion that is both frantic, he's been known to break 2 or 3 bass strings a gig, and funky. Even his reggae stylings seem effortlessly gifted. Since they've joined together as a band in the spring of 1976, the group have combined their commanding personal style to achieve explosive results. At the time of the Clash's inception, the Sex Pistols' sudden rise to fame has kindled a flame in the hearts of many would-be rock stars. Paul Simonon, who claims to have never seen a live rock show before he attended a Pistols gig, suddenly began to hang out at Rehearsal. Rehearsal, the North London studio owned by Bernard Rhodes, formerly associate of the Pistols... No, hold on, I skipped something. A former associate of Malcolm McLaren, whoever that is, would soon become the group's manager. Together with guitarist Keith Levene, who was later to become a member of Johnny Rottens' post-Sex Pistols band, Mick Jones was also a regular at the studio, using the practice to work out with his ill-fated group, the London SS. Soon Jones, Simonon, and Levene joined together in a union they came to call The Clash. A chance meeting on the street brought Joe Strummer into the group. A former busker who had once earned his living playing ukulele in London subways, Joe was also a pub circuit veteran, then enrolled as lead singer on the 101ers. Immediately impressed with the personal charisma of Jones, the gaunt Keith Richards look-alike, and the scored, scowling Simonon, Strummer agreed to leave his group, who were on the verge of establishing themselves with their hit Keys to Your Heart, once again never heard of it, before hearing the others to play. Strummer had experienced a youthful revelation while attending a Pistols show. He later commented to Caroline Coon in a British rock paper, Sounds, that I never wanted one-ers were good. They were just too old. What I really wanted was to get in with some young yarbos who I was more in tune with. I'm assuming yarbos is some sort of British slang. I'm not familiar with that term though, despite people saying I sound British. Getting in tune with each other remarkably fast, The Clash gave their premiere performance with a one-time only assist from Keith Levene before a group of assembled press and friends in August 1976. By December that year, they had gained enough notoriety on the punk scene to merit a slot on the Anarchy in the UK tour. Then came their own headlining spot on the Wyatt tour of England in early 1977, culminating in their contract with CBS England in the spring of the year. And then there's a blurb later on that it doesn't say who it's from, but there's a blurb. Throughout their career, the band have consistently won record and concert reviews which laud them as one of England's leading young bands. Comparing The Clash to other bands on the new wave scene, Ira Roberts of the Trouser Press declared that The Clash have so much more to offer, there's no contest. Village Voice / Cream columnist Robert Christgau commented that The Clash are the class of the field, defining its possibilities. And Sounds went both of them, one bill with a simple headline declaration that, if you don't like The Clash, then you don't like rock and roll. I would not go that far. I do think you can like rock and roll without liking The Clash, although I do obviously like The Clash. So yeah, there they are. I'm still not sure I'd really call Mick Jones a Keith Richards lookalike, although he does, I guess, kind of vaguely resemble him in that particular image, but later on he would not at all. But yeah, there it is. The sleeve, the blob, kind of a nice little thing to have, kind of a piece of Clash history. It's, I mean, something they would have been introduced to America with. And I suppose I've wasted enough time on reading that off now, especially since I flubbed some of the lines there, so time to go on to the song-by-song ranking. Safe European Home, I give 9 out of 10. English Civil War, I give 8 out of 10. Tommy Gun, 9 out of 10. Julie's Been Working for the Drug Song, 8 out of 10. Last Gang in Town, 7 out of 10. Guns on the Roof, 7 out of 10. Drug Stabbing Time, 9 out of 10. Stay Free, 10 out of 10. Cheapskates, 7 out of 10. All the Young Punks, New Boots and Contracts, 8 out of 10. And overall, I give this album 8 out of 10. And my top 3 picks are Stay Free, Safe European Home, and Tommy Gun. I want to thank you all for watching this video through to the end, because I'm assuming you watched it all the way through to the end if you're at this point. And I will see you in my next video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more like this. I've also already reviewed The Clash's debut UK album, so feel free to watch that as well. And once again, I hope you have a great rest of your day.